without much further ado, Briana Beveridge.
I thought it would be like 10 people, so this is beautiful. Everybody here is in Overwhelm. Who's in Overwhelm? Yes! I'm going to ask Rachel and Dominique, could you pass out the papers? I'm going to have them do this first, and I have a couple of exercises that I'm excited for you to do. If you have a pen, just get it out now, and I'm going to go over what we're going to talk about today. Again, my name is Briana Beveridge, and I'm just so grateful to be here and see so many people here that are in Overwhelm and want a solution. I've taught this workshop to corporations, I've taught it to health practitioners, doctors, lawyers, moms, stay-at-home moms groups, women's organizations, and I kind of stopped doing that during the pandemic, so I haven't taught this in 4 years, so it's a brand new workshop for me and for you. So, and it's just evolved as I've evolved. We're going to do, as soon as we pass out the papers, because I have some activities that I'm excited for you guys to do. I like to focus on solutions and not and the opportunities, not on we all have challenges. We all have things that are going on in our life. None of us is unique, like I'm the first one to go through this or the first one to go through that. All of us have challenges. And these solutions that I offer today are ways to not stay stuck in the overwhelm. You know, a lot of us know somebody, or maybe we're that person, who just stays stuck with the problem, the complaining, the whining, all of that. So I'm offering you today solutions in order to be able to deal with that. I like to begin with the definition of overwhelm. First of all, who wants to tell me what overwhelm means to you? Just shout it out.
Give up.
Give up. Too much. What else?
Not thinking clearly.
Not thinking clearly? Yeah. What else?
Frustration.
Frustration. Yes, overwhelm is definitely frustration. What else?
Exhaustion.
Exhaustion. Yes, from overwhelm, being overwhelmed.
Could be a panic attack.
A panic attack. That's how it manifests in your body. Yeah. Anybody else?
Anxiety.
Anxiety. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, I've experienced all of those. I like words and I like to define words. So I have 3 definitions of overwhelm from the dictionary. One is to overcome completely in mind or feeling, which, you know, you can hear some news and then it can be completely overwhelming. Completely. To overpower or overcome with superior forces. The definition that the dictionary used was Pompeii. So sometimes feelings of overwhelm can like totally overcome you, bury you in the overwhelm. And then the third one is to load, heap, or address with an overpowering or excessive amount of anything. So even if it's a move, like we all moved here to have a better life, it can still be overwhelming. It doesn't mean it's not something for your good. It can still be overwhelming. So does everybody have the papers yet? Okay. Still, I want to do a grounding exercise. Everybody gets 2 sheets. Yeah. Or you can just have one, it's fine. This is why I'm starting with this. We get this out of the way, then everybody. And if you have something to write with, that's great. Yes, return the pens to me when you're done. Okay, so what I want you to do, everybody has paper? No. Okay, 2 more over here. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to put the paper out of your lap. Take anything that's in your lap, uncross everything, and just Sit up as straight as you can. Remember, my background is Master Yoga teacher in several different kinds of yoga. There's one who needs one here. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Okay, so uncross everything. Sit up as straight as you can in your chair. Feet flat on the ground. Arms right in your lap. And just, you can close your eyes or keep them open. It's up to you. And I want you to feel the top of your head, the crown of your head. And just, we're going to go down and back up. So feel the crown of your head, your eyes, your forehead, your cheekbones, your nose, underneath your nose, your jaw, relax your jaw, your mouth, your chin. And just breathe nice and evenly. There's no rush. Relax your neck, your throat. Relax your shoulders. Relax your spine and chest. Let you breathe freely. Relax all of your inner organs. Relax your sit bones, your hips, your thighs, the back of the thighs, your knees, your shins and calves, your ankles, the top of the feet, your toes, and the bottom of your feet. Just feel connected to the earth right now, and just have all of what happened before you got here. Did you get a piece of paper? Whatever. Just have that drain through you right now and be in this moment. Now through the bottom of your feet, we're going to feel that beautiful grounding energy through the bottom of your feet, your toes, the top of your feet. You can visualize it as white or golden light. Your ankles. That whatever color comes to you, use that color. The back of your calves, or your calves, your shins, your knees, your thighs, the back of your thighs, your sit bones, hips, the base of your spine, that Kundalini energy. Just feel it uncoiling up your spine, healing all your organs, breathing freely. Feel that through your arms, your forearms, your wrists, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, collarbone, your throat, your neck, and again your jaw. Just relax your jaw, your mouth, your cheekbones, your nose, your eyes, back of your eyes, that point between your eyebrows, your forehead, and your crown. And just feel your body completely energized and grounded. Being here, these beautiful sounds that are right here, right now. And give thanks that you brought yourself here to get a solution for you. Take what you like, leave the rest. And just honor yourself as you're here. Now to close this, I'm going to ask you to rub your hands together. Slowly open your eyes. And just shake your hands out to be back in the room. Okay. Ooh, that was good. Okay. Like I mentioned, you could also be overwhelmed by happiness. Overwhelm is just a neutral thing. It depends on which side you give energy to it. You know, sometimes you can be so happy, your heart races. Sometimes you can be so sad, the exact same emotions happen. You decide what fuels your overwhelm, because it's neutral. You decide how you're going to focus on it. Are you going to use it as an opportunity, or are you going to use it as, you know, something to bury you? So I'm going to define opportunity now. But I want to know from you, what does opportunity mean to anybody here? I got less hands this time. Yes. Flexibility. Awesome. Somebody else?
Possibility.
Possibility. Love that. Yes.
Choices.
Choices. These are awesome. Anybody else? Those are pretty powerful. So again, I look up words. So opportunity is an appropriate or favorable time or occasion. Their meeting afforded an opportunity to exchange views. A situation or condition favorable for attainment of a goal. Happiness, excellent health. A good position, chance or prospect. And I would refer to myself as a spiritual person, not religious person. So if I mention God, it's just my concept. Everybody can have their own, but I have my own. Instead of saying the universe and divine, I just say God. It's shorter. So one of the women I love, her name is Caroline Myss, M-Y-S-S, and one of her quotes is exactly what is for this. What overwhelm is, these points at which we must choose to change or to stagnate are our greatest challenges. Do you want to stay in overwhelm and be anxiety-ridden, frightened, or do you want to have an opportunity to change? Behind overwhelm, this is my definition, behind overwhelm there's always opportunity. So one of the first things we're going to do, and Eckhart Tolle, I have another quote. You guys have heard Eckhart, right? He wrote this amazing book called The Power of Now. If you don't know it, get it on audio, because it's, when I can't sleep, I just listen to it over and over. Sometimes change looks negative on the surface, but you will soon realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. And that's really what overwhelm is. It's just this opportunity for something new to emerge for you, even in a good thing. Okay, some of the symptoms of overwhelm, like what we do to combat overwhelm. I call it numbing. So some of them we know, drinking, smoking, that kind of thing. But there's other ones that I feel like are just as toxic. And one of them, or some of them, are worry. Because a lot of times if we worry, we're going to solve it, right? And worry never really solves it. But in our minds sometimes we get overwhelmed with worry and have that be like, that's the action we're doing to take care of it. It's actually not helpful at all. Overachieving, I'm guilty of that. Like, I overdo a lot of things. You know, is any other overachievers here? I see the overachievers going, no. I'm sure there's more that raise their hand, but, God forbid I be an overachiever. Blaming. That's one of the symptoms of trying to hide your overwhelm. Blame somebody else. It's their fault, they did, I can't believe. If those come out of your mouth, there's something going on with you. Also, complaining. I call it mutter, whine, complain. Oh my God, I can't believe they're driving like. Why would somebody say those kind of complaining? Also, and this one I'm also guilty of, gossip. If you find yourself, I like to call it observing and reporting instead of gossip. But sometimes I observe and report a lot. So anyway, what we're going to do now is with those pieces of paper, I'm going to do, this is my favorite exercise. It's called the POP exercise, P-O-P. So at the top of the paper, just write P-O-P. And what we're going to do, this exercise is one that I use a lot. So, and I'm going to have you top of mind for there's one side is POP, The next side is POP. So 3 things that this is the pissed off paper. The 3 things that you're pissed off about. Don't worry, you don't have to share them with everybody. Just 3 things right now at the top of your head that you're pissed off about. It's a pissed off paper. We all have them, by the way. Oh, and if you don't have one, just think about the news. You'll get one. That was perfect timing. I love that the clock went off exactly. I love synchronicity. Okay, so the POP, this is an exercise you can do when you kind of feel like you're gossiping, complaining, alcohol, drug, whatever. And it's kind of a time to just pause and actually write out what it is, because usually it turns up as annoyance. Like, man, I don't like that person. Oh my God, I can't believe. You know, those things start popping up. It's a great time to do this pissed off paper. So you can actually say what is going on. Usually we don't take the time to identify what's really going on. We just start blaming, complaining, pointing the finger. Okay, so on the opposite side of the paper, you're going to write POP. And I'm going to ask you, you're going to do, or however you do it on your paper. You can put a line and put things, whatever you want to do. 3 things that are the power of praise for that exact thing that you're pissed off about. So if you're pissed off about political events, what's the power of praise in that? You get a voice. You don't have to worry about everybody else's voices. You get your own voice. That's a power of praise. If you have, you know, a health concern, what's the power of praise? I have medical people that can help me investigate to how to solve this. So does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions? So just for the 3 things that you just wrote, what is the power of praise that you can write about those 3 things? Okay, I see some heads coming up, so I'm going to continue. Who needs more time? You're reaching. Good, good. And the next exercise, you can still write if you're writing. The next exercise is something that I've done, and we've all heard of this exercise. We all hear, yeah, I should write a gratitude list. But I'm going to tell you something to do differently with it. I have a friend of mine, my friend Lisa and I, 22 years ago, decided that, you know, we had heard about, you know, the power of gratitude, and we were pretty sarcastic and quite frankly didn't want to do it. So this is the same thing. We just said, well, we're going to challenge ourselves to do this. So we formed a group, just she and I, where we would challenge ourselves with 10 things we were grateful for a day, right? So, you know, she came up with the 10 because, you know, usually it's, 3 things. And she said, we're really negative, so why don't we just do 22 or 10? And so I was like, bet, let's do this. So we email each other. She has since moved to New Jersey, but email works. We email each other, I would say a minimum of 3 times a week, but we try to do it every day, of things that we're grateful for. And one year we did 20. And I was like, okay, I'm grateful I don't have scurvy. You know, like I couldn't figure out things to pull. I'm grateful plants are green. It was hard, but it kept me in the moment. I needed something to keep me in the moment. I was having overwhelming things happen in my life, and I was leaning on the negative. I was leaning on the overwhelm, and I needed to see what the universe was trying to teach me, what God was trying to say to me, because I was wallowing in the overwhelm. So, real quickly, because I don't have a lot of time, I want you to write 10 things you're grateful for. It can be that you walked here, you drove here, the plants are green, you know, whatever it is, write 10 things. Who's got at least 5? Most everybody? Okay. I'm going by the heads that are up, so I'm going to get to 10. Again, grass is green. It's not raining right now. It's not 1,000,000 degrees. She said she's not pregnant.
Close call.
That's the first time I heard that
What did you think you were? But we're not too old to keep trying.
I'm grateful for that.
Right. Right.
So I'm going to keep going. One of the things that is the best about writing this gratitude list is sharing it with other people. Lisa and I have been doing this. So we add people to our list. Like, oh, do you want to join us? So we have an email list. It's a blind carbon copy. We BCC everybody. So, you know, and we just do reply all or whoever we want on our list. And I get her list, she gets mine. I started getting her gratitude list from Australia. Like, I don't even know who this woman is, but I love reading her list. So I'm going to ask you to commit to yourself, not to me, to yourself, that you're going to take a week and just, who can be your gratitude buddy? If they live in the house with you, it can be that, but really somebody you can email and send them your gratitude list, and then they send you theirs. Because when I get other people's gratitude lists, it's so cool to hear what they're grateful for. It's such a, you know, it keeps me in that mind, to be thoughtful of what they're grateful for. Because I only know my little world. You know, I stay in my connection with my God. But when I reach outside, especially for gratitude, somebody else's gratitude, it really enriches and fulfills me. It really broadens who I am. So I challenge you to do that with yourself, and I want you to, on your paper of 10 gratitude, write down who that person is. If you want to be a part of mine, I'll give you my email. And also, too, for me, when I am really in overwhelm, you know, like maybe I'm visiting family, I do more gratitude lists because I have to really reach inside to be grateful. Like, I'm grateful she has her own opinion. This is awesome. I'm grateful they're doing it that way. Yes. Because I don't have to do it. You know, like I have to think of like how to be grateful in a situation. Because the more I write my list, and I really try to do it, I would say I'm about 4 times a week. I try to do more, but that's about, you know, what I can do on a regular basis. And my list is about 15 people, and they do maybe 3 or 4 times a week. So at any given time in my email is somebody's gratitude. And it's really, really, inspiring to me. Okay. Eckhart Tolle says, life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know this is the experience you need? Because this is the experience you are having at the moment. So whatever you need, so the overwhelm, again, is just opportunity. Whatever's going on, whatever's, you know, when I tried to sell a house, what happens? The air conditioner breaks. You need a new roof. And I was like, okay, universe, thank you for giving me this opportunity to get the roof done. You know, you have an inspection, and people were coming to see the house. There's a big old hole in the wall because, you know, and it was like, that's okay. These aren't the people who are supposed to see the house and buy it from me. You know, like, whatever's happening, there are things that you can, and I'm not talking Pollyanna. I'm talking really change your mind about what's going on. Because you can see it the negative way. Go right ahead. You're welcome. But I don't want to live like that anymore. I lived like that for a while. I don't want to do that anymore. So if you want to make that change, actively do this, do the grounding. You can do that in the morning. It can take 2 minutes. You can do the pop exercise. This is a really good one to do at evening so that you can sleep and you don't have to roll around that resentment. They did, she, I can't, why. Do that POP and then the power of praise. And these are really good exercises to do for health concerns, relationship challenges, that could be with anybody you're related to, financial concerns, and sometimes things pop up from the past that are like, why is this bothering me now? Am I looking for things to be resentful for, or did this come up for me to heal in some way? Right? I just went through a divorce, and all of this other stuff started popping up, and I was like, thank you, God, for letting me heal this. And it gave me a chance to get other resources so that I could heal those things. Another quote. Caroline Myss, is it Mace or Miss? I think it's Miss, M-Y-S-S. I always say Mace, but anyway.
It's this.
Yeah, she said it one time, and I thought, huh. Anyway, our life crisis, also known as overwhelm, tells us that we need to break free of beliefs that no longer serve our personal development. I'll read it again. Our life crisis, also known as overwhelm, tells us that we need to break free of beliefs that no longer serve our personal development. The last exercise I'm going to give you, this is also something I do at night. If I can't sleep or I get up at 3 o'clock and, you know, are there any other people who get up at 3 o'clock? And yeah, a lot of us, yeah. This is what I do. You may have heard of this one called the 4 C's. Has anybody heard of it? Okay, so this is an exercise that not only gives me clarity, but it lets me know my part in something. So the first C is criticize. Where have I criticized? And when I say criticize, I mean myself. Somebody else, that's easy, I can criticize them. But I criticize myself sometimes a lot. So where have I criticized? The second C is complain. Where have I complained about myself? God, I can't believe you did that again, Briana. You know, where have I complained about myself or somebody else? Where have I condemned? That's another favorite one.
Could you repeat that one, please?
Condemn. Who have I condemned that I maybe need to let go? Again, if you can't think, just think of the news. And the other one, and this, sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing this one, is compare. A lot of the when and then. Well, when this happens, I'll be better than that situation, person, whatever. When I get this money, then that'll mean blah de blah, right? So the 4 C's, I forgot where I got this from. But I do that like the 3 o'clock in the morning thing because I didn't realize that as much as I'm observing the outside circumstances, something's going on with me. So the POP, pissed off paper, power of praise, is, you know, one way, but the 4 C's are really a way where I just have to dig deep within myself to just know, okay, how am I criticizing, complaining, condemning, or comparing? Where, you know, where I'm making myself come up short in whatever situation. Especially if I think somebody has some power over me, why would that be? Why would somebody else have any power over me, my thoughts or my actions? This is up to me. I had to learn that during my divorce. So, would you like to live in the solution or would you like to live in the problem? Again, overwhelm is neutral. You get to choose. And I'm going to give you kind of end here with one of the overwhelming life situations that I faced. And I'll try not to cry, but I was really trying to have a child, like really wanted a baby. My sister had an arranged marriage, long story, and she had a baby in 9 months, and I couldn't. I ended up having 5 failed pregnancies. And my last failed pregnancy, I had to have emergency surgery because it was an ectopic. If you don't know what ectopic pregnancy is, it's in your ovary, and mine was in the tube, the fallopian tube, and it was about to burst, and I almost died. So, and this was my 5th one, right? So I'm in the emergency room, and I'm like, okay, I don't know, how did I get here? And I was in denial, right? So I was at the doctor's office. She said, you have one of the worst ectopics we've ever seen. And it's like she's talking to me in a Charlie Brown voice, right? Because this can't be happening. This is not happening. I can get pregnant, but for some reason I can't do this. One of my doctors even said to me, oh my God, you have bad luck, Briana. And I was like, is that your medical diagnosis? What? Anyway, God bless him. What happened for me is that I just was in that hospital the next day and, you know, went through all this stuff. And I got up, and it was in December. And it was a beautiful sunny day. And as I was leaving, the nurse is rolling me out, and I don't say anything. I can't speak. I'm kind of done. I mean, anybody who's had any kind of ailment, and then there's all those helpful people, you know, you should try. Did you call? It's not helpful. So if somebody you know is sick or going through a lot of stuff, just listen. Just even being quiet by them is nice. So I had a lot of people after 5 wanting to say, and I was like, I don't want to, my mother-in-law would call me crying, and I'm like, I'm supposed to help you now? Like, this is actually happening to me. Anyway, so I'm being wheeled out by this nurse, and I'm like, I don't want to tell anybody what happened, whatever. And this was right around Christmas. It was right after Christmas. And the nurse, again, I'm not saying anything, because I don't want to talk. The nurse rolls me out and she said, oh my gosh, I just had this premonition that next year I'm going to be rolling you out here with a baby. And I was like, stop talking. Like, I don't want to hear that. I've already gotten all the advice you could ever get. I don't want to hear that. I can't take somebody else's creative idea. So anyway, around that whole thing, I had to do a lot of the pop things. I had to do a lot of gratitude. And was I grateful? Absolutely not. I was not grateful that I was the one who had to have 5 failed pregnancies. Not at all. So all these exercises that I did really helped me to really get in a place of surrender. I had to completely surrender everything. There's a line in the AA 12 and 12. Who cares to admit complete defeat? I do not. I've got another idea. I'm going to figure it out. And I had to be completely defeated. And I was. I mean, completely. It just brought me to a new level of surrender. So I had to do those 4 C's, right? Because I hated that effing doctor that said the stupid crap to me. But as I got more into surrender, I got to be more into solution, right? So I was out of ideas. I had tried to do this. I had a fertility specialist, so I thought, well, she's there, so I can go ahead and do what I need to do. She'll figure it out. They landed on the moon. Surely they could move that little thing over. Like, I was crazy. I thought I had all these solutions. And what came to me was that let those people who studied this their whole lives, fertility challenges, why don't you let them be in charge of this? And I did. I let them be in charge, and I just was like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm going to let my God be in charge of this. I can't do it anymore. And I just did next step after next step. And then December of 2001, I had that little girl back there who handed you guys a paper. So that nurse, I didn't know at the time, was an angel for me. I couldn't have hope at that time. But that was the signal that I needed to let all of it go, let the overwhelm go. You have 5 failed pregnancies. It doesn't look good. But that little baby girl, 22 years old, is moving to France in 2 weeks, in Paris. So I'm really proud of her. Whew. So I got 3 minutes left. Being an overwhelmed, this is my quote, by the way. Being an overwhelmed is the whisper from your life asking you to expand and grow, to see where the opportunity for a greater, more expansive life experience lies for you. So, whew, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
We're going to take questions and answers. We'll have some Q&A time. I'm going to bring the mic around. You're going to raise your hand, and then please, when I bring it to you, stand up, put the mic over like I have it right here to your mouth. So, who's got a question for Briana? Really? Nothing?
It was that good.
It was. I see something back there. I'm coming back.
It was that good.
Oh, thank you. She may be biased. She's my new neighbor, Margot, so. Thank you, though, Margot.
Thank you.
Hi. I'd like to thank you very much for this.
Thank you for coming.
And I am wondering if you do any group sessions, any group workshops around town?
This is literally me coming back after 4 years of not doing stuff, but that's a great thing. Maybe I'll start a mailing list if you want to be on it. Rachel, if you could like that notebook, just write your email and I'll go ahead and, or somebody give me a piece of paper and just write on there. If you would like to see my daughter Rachel, raise your hand. She'll go ahead and get you on my mailing list. It'll probably be via Zoom, so it'll be even more convenient. Is there another question?
Are you passing that paper around, or do you want other people to just fill in one of their papers and bring it to her?
Either way.
Okay, that would probably
Yeah,
work better.
either way.
You all have a pen, you all have paper. If you want to be on the mailing list, do that.
Yeah, just
She'll
give it
come
to
around
Rachel or-
and she'll collect it.
Perfect.
So, any other questions? I see some hands. Okay.
Hello, and thank you for coming again. Just checking the gratitude list that you emailed. I can take the one I just did and hit reply all, right?
Yes, if you want to. You can just go ahead, the one you did. Sometimes people on my list, they don't like typing it out. They write it out. Some people put stickers on there. They have a gratitude journal, and then they take a picture of it and email it to me.
Okay, I thought I had to do a new one.
You can if you want.
There probably are no have-tos.
Exactly.
Okay, here comes a hand. Somebody didn't turn off their ringer. Okay, you bet. Coming.
Oh, it's not a good.
How close?
Okay.
This is close.
Yeah.
I just want to say how much I enjoyed your talk.
Oh, thank
I
you.
think that a lot of that information I might already be aware of or I might use, but what I loved most is the way that you organized it and you made it simple and I think easy. So I just wanted to say thanks for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. Who else?
Thanks for making it.
Okay, coming around. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Briana.
Good morning, Ada.
Briana, thank you so much for sharing your truth. It was lovely, beautiful to hear. And I don't have a question, I have a contribution to make.
Definitely.
I really loved your sharing about gratitude and how it works. And about maybe 35 years ago, I actually was involved in a seminar where this woman talked about gratitude. She talked about it in the respect of gratitude prayer. And so, it's like you pray, you talk about what you want as though it has already happened. So I actually started the exercise. I talked about, I was happy and grateful that I had beautiful neighbors. I was happy and grateful that I traveled all over the world. I was happy and grateful that I was in a loving relationship, and it goes on and on. So when you ask us to create a list, it was fairly easy. I just started praying, and the list just came. So I want to offer that we can actually just pray for what we want in the way that it has already occurred, and be grateful for the fact that it's already occurred. So thank you so much for sharing your truth with us.
Thank you. Thank you for that contribution. Yeah. When I have more time, because today was a little less time than I'm used to, I go into the manifestation of gratitude and how when you start being an active, great person with gratitude, it actually expands your world. But thank you for that. That was wonderful to add. Is there anybody else?
Any other questions? Anybody else? Any other hands? Let's see.
Again, if somebody wants to give me their email, go ahead and give it to Rachel.
Yep, we're going to do that.
And
So, thank you so much. This was very valuable information. Let's all give a warm thank you.